Hello everyone! On this episode of Interviewing Plushtubers, our guest will be SMLYTP, also known as Brett. How are you doing today, bro?
I am doing just fine. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks for asking. Let's just move on to our first question. How did you find out about YouTube, and who were the first channels you watched?
Ooh, okay. I found out about YouTube back in 2008 when I was 6. I would just browse it. It actually comes back. I was at Nick's house. And we found YouTube when just browsing the internet on his dad's computer. And some of the first YouTubers that I watched that I remember, one of them was SML back in 2009 is one of the first ones I remember watching. I didn't watch a lot of YouTube back then, but I watched a lot of stuff about Legos and Mario and stuff like that. I didn't really start watching YouTube regularly until about 2012, and I started watching a lot of like Minecraft YouTubers. And then people like, unfortunately, Sky Does Minecraft got me into making YouTube videos at that time, and I hate saying that, but at least knowing now, but at that time, that's how I got into this space.
Yeah, some YouTubers aren't always the best people, but you know, they do certain good things, which one of those, I guess, were getting you to make videos. Well, at least your fans would say that, probably.
I guess so.
Alright.
I guess so.
Well, my second question would be, why did you choose to do YouTube poops of SML, and why did you quickly move on to parodies?
Alright, so, that's actually a good question. I don't get asked this a lot anymore, but I did back in the day. So, the YTPs, it actually starts with, Cable 10. I found one of Cable's videos, I think it was SMLYTP Jeffy's parents. And I thought it was really interesting. And at the time, I was this small Minecraft YouTuber trying to make a name for myself. I had like a few hundred subscribers. So I made this secondary channel called Super Mario Logan YTP, and I wanted to try making a couple of YouTube poops out of Logan's videos, because I always liked YouTube poops as a kid and stuff like that. And very, very quickly did it blow up. I think that within a month I had like 10,000 subscribers. So it was like, I kind of quit my Minecraft stuff and went full with this. But where I kind of went to parodies, was I quickly ran out of ideas for YTPs. Especially when you were making as many YTPs as I was, you run out of content at some point. So it's basically you just have to you kind of have to move on whenever you run out of ideas. Luckily for me, like parodies, you don't really run out of ideas like that. So that's why I've been able to do this for years and years when I was only able to do the YTPs for a few months. So I gotta give credit to Glider where credit is due. I don't know how he continues to do it, because I would have burnt out and ran out of ideas so much quicker.
Yeah, Glider's a real one. I don't even know how he does it either, but yeah, I get that. Sometimes you gotta move your content in a certain direction to not get burnt out or whatever. That leads to my third question. How did you meet your online friends like AmazingMarioBros or Donald Duck or Richie, and when and how did you get involved in the Discord side of the whole plush community, I guess?
So you could see by my Discord join date that I've been on Discord since before making my main channel. So like I've been around Discord for a long time. It just happened to be like me being a YouTuber, I ended up coming into the Discord space of it. But when it comes to like some of my online friends, I met Donald Duck before I started SMLYTP. I actually have to give him a lot of credit, because he was the one that also, when I told him about Cable's video, he was the one that pushed me to try and make those videos. So, shout out to Donald Duck. I would not be where I am without him. And in return, I told him about TikTok back in 2018. So let's just say that I kind of returned the favor.
Yeah.
And then with Crazy Mario Bros. Super Mario Richie, both of them were just from. Well, actually, Richie I met him through Ian, but I met Ian because he messaged me when he was a lot smaller of a channel, like just kind of every once in a while back in 2017, and then when COVID hit, we both had about the same amount of subscribers because I went away for 2 years, and we just started like talking, and we became friends really quickly. And he's still one of my closest YouTube friends out there. Like, I was literally talking to him last night about this huge project that I have coming out probably in a few months from now. So he knows a bit. He knows a bit.
That's pretty nice, having long-time online friends is always pretty good. Well, talking about meeting people, when and how did you meet your current cast members like Jonathan and Nick and Derek?
Okay, so Nick and I were childhood friends. Like, I think maybe 2 or 3 years old. Our families met and like became friends. So when you're that young, you inherently become friends with your parents' friends' kids. So that just kind of happened. Jonathan was 6th grade in middle school. I'd moved to a new school, and he was one of my first friends that I made. And then Derek, I met him through Nick. Like, he started working for Nick while I was away. And when I came back, we wanted to keep Derek in the cast. So I did not met Derek in person until probably 2 months ago.
Wow.
But he's been really awesome to have on the team, and like really glad that I made him.
Yeah, that's pretty nice, meeting someone that's like 20 years ago almost, and now being basically business partners and friends or whatever. That's an interesting story. Not like Ian and Anthony, not to that extent, but I'd say it has similar roots. But
it does have similar roots.
Yeah, I would say, alright, let's move on to the next question, which is, what have been your most proudest moments as a content creator? Like maybe a certain milestone that you hit?
Oh, okay. I would say that a lot of them are subscribers. A lot of them is like revenue goals, stuff like that. One of my proudest moments was 100,000 subscribers back in 2017, because it only took me 10 months to hit 100,000 subscribers. So I was like over the moon when it happened. I was 15 years old. Like, this was it was a big moment for me. And literally just today I hit 750,000 subscribers.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so that's like a big thing too, because that means I only have a quarter left to get to 1 million subscribers, and I would say that's like the big thing. Like, when I hit 1 million, I've reached every goal I've ever wanted. Like, 10 million is just way too out of reach. I think 1 million is I think that's like my top goal, really. Once I hit 1 million, I would say that I've checked all my boxes.
Oh, nice. I'm not saying 10 million is impossible, but it is kind of far away, so yeah.
I mean, if Logan hasn't done it, I don't think I'll do it. So, let's just go and say that I will never be bigger than Logan, no matter how big I grow.
Unless Logan's completely disappears or something, but I don't think
yeah,
that's
but
happening.
I don't see that happening, especially like right now. Like, my channel's kind of like, it's doing better than it was probably a few months ago before I came back. But it's still like, there's still a lot of work to be done with the channel to bring it back to its greater glory of like late 2021. That was the most amount of viewership I think I've ever had. Like, the last 28 days I've gotten a bit over 5 million views, but October 2021, I don't think I'll ever be able to get the 14 million views I got in that month again.
Yeah, well, I hope you can reach to that amount of level once again. There was probably sort of quarantine in that year, so that might have, helped out, and Squid Game was around, but yeah.
Oh, entirely Squid Game. I put all of my, I put all of the credit on Squid Game because, yeah, I had some other videos that did really well in that time too, but Squid Game was the one that got the ball rolling, and then it with it staying around for a few weeks, it jump started the other videos too. So
nice.
I just need a video I need another video like Squid Game, and this channel's back to its greater glory.
Well, let's just hope it happens sometime soon. Well, now on to my next question. Have you had any fan interactions that stood out to you?
Yeah, one that was really interesting, is I was out at Kennywood, which is a local amusement park in the Pittsburgh area, and I was with my girlfriend at the time. We're not together anymore, but basically we kind of were there, and someone had noticed me, which is this was the first time and the only time since that I've been noticed in public as SMLYTP without having the puppets on me. In a non-filming setting. There's been times that people have noticed us as SMLYTP, but only because we had the puppets on us. I'd never have anyone come up to me and say, oh my god, SMLYTP, I love your stuff, while I'm just chilling. Just at an amusement park, minding my own business, on a little date,
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that's definitely something that would stick in my head. I get with the puppets, because puppets are recognizable, but imagine if that kid would just went up to every 20-year-old black-haired guy with a beard or without a beard, depends on if you had one back at the moment.
I definitely did. But
yeah, so imagine that kid just went up to every 20-year-old guy with a beard and just asked if he was SMLYTP.
Oh god, that's not good. Now, it's great because I've had a lot of subscribers of mine comment on my videos saying that they were there at the place that we were filming when we were filming. There's when I filmed this video called Jeffy's Laser Tag, we went to this arcade and bowling alley called Zone 28, and someone commented saying that they were bowling in the lane next to us while we were filming. And that's kind of sick, and I didn't believe it at first, but then he was literally talking about what shirt I was wearing during the video. So I think that's sick. I think that's really sick.
Damn. And funny enough, one of my former friends has told me that he saw you somewhere in a store or something filming. That's so back in 2021 or something. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. But yeah. Now to my next question. What did you do to avoid burnout, and what have been your main methods of obtaining ideas?
So to the burnout one, I haven't. I've been through burnout multiple times, and I would say that even now I kind of still am. It's not as bad as it's been before. Burnout comes and goes, really. So the best way to not get burnout, or at least minimize it, that I've seen, is balance your work life, work and life lives. So we only film twice a week. We film on Mondays and Wednesdays most weeks, and that leaves us 4 days in between, Thursday to Sunday, to where we can do whatever we want. And then Tuesdays there is a kind of a little break between the 2 days, and that's worked really well because that allows people to take little weekend getaways and stuff like that a normal job wouldn't let you do. So I think we're we have a very cushy schedule.
Interesting. So, all right. Well, what about how have you been obtaining ideas currently?
Oh, obtaining ideas. Mainly it's just like we kind of look at what people are are interested in at that given time. Like I'm releasing a video today called Abandon the Adventure. That game seems to be like really interesting to people. And it was interesting to me because like I've made Garn a Ban videos and I hated that game. Anyone that has heard me on live streams will have heard the rants that I've gone on about that game, and that's the reason those videos never were totally serious. Because how do you take a game like that seriously? But with Amanda the Adventure, I actually found that game very, very interesting, and I played the game and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So we made a serious video about Amanda the Adventure. So like looking for things that are trending at that time, like we were gonna make a video about Skibidi toilets, but Jeffy's Universe got to it first. But and I think Cable did too. So we just kind of we pushed back on that. But that's kind of an example. Like another example is the Jeffy Spider-Man Whopper. We made that video because of what's going on there. But when it comes to like normal ideas, we just kind of think of like, what would our audience theoretically enjoy? So we made videos like, what is it? Like Jeffy's Green Bean Band and Jeffy's Chuck E. Cheese contest. Just kind of things that like we thought our audience would enjoy. But that's about it.
All right. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good ideas on how to, well, obtain ideas. All right. Now my next question is that some people might know the answer to if they're like we're on certain streams or something. But I know that, well, not everyone attends all of your streams or whatever. So I wanted to ask this: why did you decide to make a comeback to like SMLYTP and just kind of abandon MMB for a while, you know, for like over a month, maybe 2 months, I don't know how long it's been, but which was definitely, it was growing, I would say, a decent amount, so.
It was growing a lot, but I would say, when it was SMLMMB, the channel ended up growing like a lot. Like I think that in April, the month before I came back, that channel got like over 1 million views in a month, which was really good for its size. But the reason I came back to SMLYTP and like had to drop MagicalMarioBros really was because, I mean, the channel was suffering, and that main channel is something that I'd worked on for 6 years. Like, I wasn't gonna let it happen. I wanted to bring it back up, and so we kind of just went back to making the videos, and that's where we are now.
Oh, well, yeah, I understand working on something for that long and getting it to that many subscribers and viewers. Yeah, obviously don't want to see something like that die. So yeah, now on to my 9th question. What are your future plans for your YouTube channels and YouTube career, and like just YouTube channels like SMLYTP and MMB, and just even maybe some of the other second channels?
Okay, so you won't really see a lot from the other secondary channels, like SMLYTP2 and stuff. You won't see anything from that really, other than just like maybe like an isolated video or so. But I wouldn't count on that, I'll be honest. However, what I will say is that SMLYTP, it'll continue to make 2 videos a week. That's not going to change in any way whatsoever, and I mean, I've been doing this for like 2 videos a week for so long. There's not going to be anything that's going to stop that. So you'll continue to see the videos you're used to. But Magical Mario Bros is actually has a lot of plans behind the scenes right now, for coming back. Like they're so large. One of them is I plan on recreating a really popular like animated Mario music video. I'm not gonna say which one because then I think someone's gonna go out and do it before I can get it done. But that's the big first thing. But then there's a huge project that's gonna cost thousands of dollars coming after that. I'd say like a lot of information about that's gonna probably come out in around like the end of summer. And so like it's this project, MMB is not gonna upload a lot, but there's gonna be a reason for it, and that reason will be very apparent once the stuff for that is announced.
Alright, well, yeah, you do a lot of things on your YouTube channels. MMB has gone through a lot this past year. Like, it went from, it introduced Shy Guy, then Jeffy came along, then Yoshi disappeared, then Yoshi sorta came back for a movie, then there were parodies, the parodies went from plushie to puppets, and now there's a whole other thing, so, yeah.
It's gone through a lot. It's just about like, at the time, that was my only channel that I was really focusing on. But right now that this is my secondary channel, I'm gonna do exactly what I want to do with it. Not worry about the views or the income or anything that come from it. And that's what it's gonna be. It's just gonna be, you know, SMLYTP. I enjoy making the videos, right? But at the same time, it also is my job. So. At some point there is some level of sacrifice that I have to make for the content, even if it's not something I necessarily want to do, to keep the audience happy and keep YouTube happy and whatever. But I don't have to do that on a channel that doesn't make me money really that much anyway. Like if it's something that I do strictly from passion, then it doesn't matter what money it's bringing in. And that's the one thing I will say about this big project that's coming, is it's going to cost me thousands of dollars, but I'm not going to make a single cent from it. So I'm just going to say that, but I'm not going to give out any other information to what this big project is. I'm not going to give any information about the contents of it. So that's all you need to know about it.
Alright. Well, let's move on to our 10th and final question. What would you say to any aspiring creators that want to grow their channels and be popular just like you?
Ooh, stay consistent. Don't break it. Even if it's like, oh, you are going on vacation for a week, record extra videos before you go. Like, you do not want to slip out of consistency, because that is like the biggest nightmare to try and grovel back from. It is terrible. So when I was around from 2020 to May 2022 on SMLYTP, I'd uploaded 2 videos a week, every week for those 2.5 years. Not one break from that schedule. Yeah, I took vacations. Yeah, I went places. Yeah, I had a good time. But I made videos ahead. I planned ahead for those types of things, and that's what you have to do as a YouTuber. And not only that, if you're wanting to grow something, I know this sounds very counterintuitive, especially what I was saying about MagicalMarioBros and how it's not going to upload a lot. You have to upload more than like once a month. Like, you can't just upload once a month or even less and expect to grow in the current in the plush space when there's creators. Because it's all about competition, right? If the audience sees that they can get similar content 4 times as often, they're going to watch the channel that brings them content 4 times as often. And viewers don't think about channels like creators do. Like, you would think in your head like, oh, why don't they just watch both? They won't do that. That's just not how viewers work. They will choose the one that makes more content, and they will completely brush you off. So you have to be consistent, and you have to be frequent, or else there really is no shot. The only way to do it to where you don't have to upload as much is if you are already big. Like, let's say Crazy Mario Bros. Crazy Mario Bros. Can get away with leaving for a month at a time, but that's because who is competing with him?
No one.
Like, think of another Mario Plus channel that has almost 700,000 subscribers. I'll wait.
I don't think I could.
Exactly. There's not even someone with half that many subscribers in this community anymore. So you have to, until you don't have to compete with anybody, you have to act like you're always in competition. Because you are. You really are.
Well, that's the truth, everyone, I guess. I can't really say much more than that. Brett just basically, explained it way better than I probably could have. So, yeah. It was really nice having you here, Brett. Do you have anything else to say before we end this?
I do not have anything to say. Thank you for having me on. And yeah, leave a like and subscribe.
Yes, do that. Alright, that was the Brett interview, everyone.